You're listening to the Shoot Your Shot podcast. I'm Megan, and I'm a wedding photographer and videographer based in Connecticut. And I'm joined today by Talia.
Hello.
Hi. Please introduce yourself.
I'm Talia, and I'm a 2025 bride. I'm getting married in September, and I'm also Megan's assistant. Whatever she needs, I'm there.
You're so cute. Talia comes in once or twice a week to help me editing and the back end of things. She helps me cull and just stay on top of my editing queue for all of my amazing clients. And Talia is getting married next year, and so I have a lot to ask, and I think it'll be very insightful for you guys to hear from her about the wedding industry from a bridal perspective, because I am not a bride. My sister's not married yet. Like, I don't know. You're like the first friend of mine to get married. And so this is exciting.
I'm also like the first one out of my friends getting married too.
Really?
So like this is the first, like, I'm doing everything myself. I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. Like, I mean, my sisters got married, but they were obviously different situations. Like, they had the small ceremony, really small ceremony at our house, and then like the bigger reception like the following year.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I'm doing like more traditional, like just the one wedding.
Yeah,
so.
booked the venue.
Yeah,
Not at home.
yep. Mm-hmm.
Very cool. So tell me a little bit about the venue tour and all of your experience.
It
with
was so
booking
nice.
that.
I mean, so when I went, unfortunately, it was rainy. Like, on the way there, it started raining. So, but then I'm like, yeah, whatever. Like, it wasn't like crazy raining. It was just like sprinkling, but it was very cloudy. But then we got there, and it was still so beautiful. Like, the owners, they were like this little older couple. They had their grandkids there on the tour, and they were just very personable. Like, they were also so friendly. The place overlooks the Hudson Valley, so it was, I don't know, even with the rain and it being cloudy, like, it was still nice. It was still very pretty, and they were just very accommodating. Like, they were like, yeah, you could do whatever you want here. It's pretty much an open canvas. And, you know, my mom was asking all the questions. She's like, my husband's an electrician. Can he put up more lights? And they're like, yeah, you can do whatever you want. So, I don't know. We were really lucky with, like, our, I guess, are they the vendors or?
Yeah. Yeah, what you've told me, they sound so flexible.
Oh,
and
my gosh, yeah.
You have the whole weekend to yourself. You can set up the day before, strike it the day after.
Friday, they were like, you can come anytime on Friday after 7 a.m., and then you can set up, and they said, and then same thing on Sunday, like, you can, you know, get there on Sunday, clean up, just because, like, they don't help with the cleanup or anything, or like the setup. The only thing they help with the setup was they're like, oh, we can take our tractor and bring the chairs over from the ceremony to the reception.
Oh, that's
I'm
really
like,
nice.
oh my gosh. So yeah, that, like, it helps a lot. So yeah, it's like, wow, thanks. So yeah, they're very accommodating. Like, just, it was very easy with them. Other places, I don't know, like, I'm not gonna name places, but like,
You're not gonna name drop.
other places, it was just like, oh my gosh, it was just, it was like, it was challenging. But this place, I don't know, I think I found them on Facebook.
Oh, really?
Should I say the name of it?
Yes. Well, they're all good. It's all good things.
All good things.
It's all good things.
Thompson Ridgeview Farm in Pine Bush, New York. It's like kind of in the middle of nowhere, but I really like that.
Yeah.
Like, I love that. And yeah, I found them on Facebook.
Wow.
And then I just saw, like, really good reviews about them. And they keep their social media, like, up to date. I think actually the owner's daughter does the social media. So,
cute.
like, she knows what she's doing and all that. So, yeah.
Family affair.
Yes.
That's so nice too, like, to be able to support a venue and vendors that are actually small businesses and, like, actually care about you and give you the time and everything that you need, instead of other bigger ones like the wedding factories that people
Yeah.
call them, where it's like they have this ceremony site and this one, and they can
Right.
handle 5 weddings in a day, and you have to be in and out an hour before and after your contracted time. It's just like so overwhelming on a day that should
I
be
know.
relaxing and peaceful. So I'm glad that you
Yes.
found like
Yes. And that I don't have to worry about
diamond.
like, oh, I have to set up the day of.
right.
I have to have like, because I don't want my mom like dealing with all
Yeah.
that. I don't want her dealing with like, you know, all the decorating and all that stuff. That's why I love the fact that they let us come in the day before and the day after to clean up, because also most places make you clean up like at the end of the night and everyone's exhausted.
I know,
and like
I feel like that takes the not that I don't know, because I also haven't been through it, but
no,
I
know
feel
what
like
you're
that
gonna
takes
say,
the
yeah.
magic out of it
because it's like,
too.
oh, it's over, we have to clean.
Right, yeah, like you
So-
wanna celebrate, either like do your exit or an Irish goodbye, and like
Right.
go enjoy the night with your new
Yeah.
partner.
Well, even
and
the
with
guests,
your friends.
even the guests too. They're like, "Oh, dancing, yeah.
Right.
Okay, guys, you have to clean up." Or like
Yeah.
the family members. It's like, I don't know, like
Yeah,
that's just my opinion. I'm like,
I agree.
I think it was really nice that they let us do that. And like you said, like I really like supporting them, because they were also telling us, we're like, we were an old dairy farm, and in order to keep the barn, we made it into a venue. And I'm like,
Wow.
oh my gosh. So, and they like live right there.
Oh, that's nice.
Their house
too.
is right next to it. And yeah, it was
Wow.
nice. Like they renovated a little cottage, like a little wedding cottage for the couple to stay at, and for the bridal party to get ready at.
Oh,
So
nice.
yeah, it's like all right there. It's so nice.
So you found them on Facebook. Was it a Facebook group, or did you just kind of stumble upon
I
them?
honestly think it was like a little ad.
Oh,
No, or
Wow.
oh no, I'm sorry. No, I think it was. Maybe I thought it was an ad. No, I think it was on like CT Brides, and I think this
Okay.
one bride was kind of like, you know, like how they usually post like, I just got married and here's a list of all my vendors. Like, so I think she was doing that, and I
oh,
think
that's nice.
she posted pictures of like her there, and was like, I really recommend this place. So I'm like, let me
Okay.
check it out. So I did.
Yeah, Facebook groups are the best.
I know.
How has it been as a bride?
I really
now
like
at the
it.
Facebook groups.
So I'm on like the CT 2025 brides or something like that.
Okay.
Or I don't know if that's specific, but I like it. Anyone asks like any sort of question, and there, it was just like everyone is going through the same thing. Like they know what people need, or like so many recommendations. Like I think I posted on there makeup artist or hairstylist, something like that. I got like 30 comments
Wow.
back, and it was just like, oh, this one. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Wow.
So yeah, like seriously, everyone is very friendly on there. They're just very helpful too. I think like this one, I was just like looking at it randomly, and this one maid of honor, actually, I think it was like the maid of honor, who was also the sister, she ordered the wrong dress. And it like,
I think I know this. I think I saw this one too.
she ordered the wrong dress, and she's like, guys, I'm not a bride, but I'm trying not to like let my sister see this, but does anyone have this dress
In this color?
Yes, in this color. And everyone was like,
I remember this.
I have this one, but it's not the exact one. Like, it's in
Yeah.
this size. Like, I'm in this town. Like, where are you? Like, it was just like everyone was so
Aw.
helpful. I'm like, even though she wasn't the bride, but they were just like, girl, we don't want to stress your bride
Yeah.
out. Like, we'll help you. And I'm
Yeah.
like, oh my gosh. So, and I was just reading
So
it.
nice.
So,
Girls are the best.
I know.
Oh my gosh. That's so. I remember seeing that and just being just
Yeah.
like so overwhelmed with how kind everybody
I
was.
know. Yeah.
Just
Like, they weren't bashing her. Like, "Ugh, why did you
No.
order the wrong dress?
right,
Or like,
right. They were just like, oh, no worries, we're here to help.
Yeah.
Like, we want to fix it for you too.
because everyone was going through the same thing. Like, they
Yeah.
know how stressful it can be. And like,
Yeah. So empathetic.
you know, and it probably wasn't her fault too. Like,
Yeah.
but
Yeah. Oh, so
Yeah.
sweet. How has the rest been going? What's your timeline like with the rest of the things that you have to do? Like,
So
when are you shopping for the dress and all that stuff?
the dress. Well, so I think I'm going to wait until like maybe around December or January when my sister's back in Connecticut because she'll be visiting and I want my sister here to try them on. But like I got all the big things out of the way. I obviously got the date, the venue, the DJ, the catering, and the photographer, Meghan and imagery.
I'm excited.
And what else? I think that's it.
Mhm.
So I guess now
Big things though.
Yes.
Yeah.
I wanted to get those out of the way, and just because those things you have to book like more in advance. And then, so I guess on my timeline right now, I started my registry, so I'm like adding, like I keep adding to that every day, and then my mom is making my invitations, but like I don't think we need to send those out yet because I'm not doing save the dates. Just to save some money.
Yeah, and your mom's a graphic designer.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're just literally going to make our invitations. And I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like the invitations you don't have to make so like glamorous and like, I mean, you can make them pretty. But like, you know, they don't have to be like these fancy like envelopes with like, you know, those like stamp kind of things. I don't know. Like, I don't know if that's just me as a bride, but because that's, you just want to like save this much money, especially if you're on a budget. So if you're not, go ahead. But like, if you are,
good tip. Yeah.
You know, so, and that's why we chose not to do the save the dates. Just like, you know, it saves some money.
Yeah.
And yeah. And then, we have to figure out the rentals. That's a big thing too. Like we have to get the chairs, the dance floor, the tablecloths, you know, like all the like glassware, you know. So it's like more of the smaller stuff now. Yeah, is what I'm doing. And then
you are a really resourceful gal.
I'm trying. I'm like, just because like it's hard. Like I know myself. I know if I don't get the big things out of the way, I'm gonna go insane. Like, just because like these they do book up really quick. Yeah. And also, in my timeline, I am looking for like a makeup artist, and most of them they're like, unfortunately, that date is booked. I'm like, my gosh. So some people book up really quick, and that's the part that I feel like not many brides think about. I mean, like they do. It's in the back of their head. But once you actually like experience it, sometimes like you're set on this like you're this person, like for example, a makeup artist. You're like, oh, I really love this person. I'm so set. And then they're like, sorry, I can't do your date. Yeah. Or like, I don't have that available. And then you're like, oh, okay, now the search continues. Right. And then it's like, so I think that's the hardest part. You have to book in advance. It's crazy. Yeah. I'm like, I should have been booking like the day I got engaged.
How does it feel? Is it like overwhelming to get your heart set on somebody and then
yeah, like I mean, I guess for me it's more of like you're just really bummed, like man. But then at the same time you have to like take a step back and think like, you know what? Maybe it was like that for a reason. You know, maybe maybe I didn't book with that person for a reason. Maybe, you know, because it's like that saying, like, everything happens for a reason. Like, oh my gosh, what if, like, that person literally was like, I can't make it to your wedding, like, the morning of or something like that, you know, like, and it's like.
Or her not being free lets you find the person that is really meant for you and that you would have connected with even better. Yeah. I believe in that.
No, seriously. Like, and. Yeah, like, I guess I just have to think about that. Like, in the bigger picture, it's like, okay, it's not about, I mean, like, yes, the details are important, but it's more about who you're marrying, like, having fun on that day, like, you know, just, so that's what it comes down to. I know it sounds like cliche, but that's what you have to think about, like, just to kind of keep you positive and like optimistic that you'll find someone. You'll find like the right person, and you'll find like the right vendors and stuff, like, so, you know, that'll just match your personality and stuff. Like, so
that is such an important message that I think gets lost a lot throughout the planning process. I mean, at least from somebody from the outside perspective, because of course, like I said, I'm not a bride and I haven't been through this before, so I don't really know. But just watching brides throughout the experience go through the planning process, and then even on the wedding day, sometimes shooting, it's more about the photos and more about this detail and making sure that this happens perfectly, instead of kind of, you know, planning as much as you can ahead of time, and then once the day comes, like, just let it all breathe. Yeah. I think you have a good mindset about it. Yeah. So what are some ideas that you've seen kind of as a photographer too? Because you've come to me with some weddings, you've done some of your own weddings. What things have you seen that have kind of influenced what you want? I mean,
like, even just like calling through your galleries, like, I've gotten so many ideas, like from Julia. Like, I've seen her.
Julia Nico.
Oh my gosh. She lives, that wedding lives rent free in my oh my gosh, like, just like the small things. It was like the fact that she had her little flower girls in blue instead of white. I'm like, man, that's so cute.
Yeah.
Like, just, it's so simple. But, and then there was that one idea she did. It was like the pocket square for her dad, and it was like, I forget what it said. It was like,
always
forever your little girl or something like that. I think I'm gonna get that for my dad.
Oh, that was so sweet.
I mean, I was like, that's so cute. Like, and especially, I'm the youngest, so I'm like, I have to do that. Like,
you're gonna make me emotional, because me also being the youngest, it's like, so cute.
Are you gonna cry at my wedding?
I probably will. I cry at a lot of weddings. Oh my gosh. I haven't photographed any weddings really for people that I know.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think I've had any weddings. No, just everybody I've photographed has been strangers or referrals or like friends of a friend, but nobody that I've actually really known. I've gotten to know people over the process, and so I feel like, you know, I really know them because I've gotten to hear their story in an hour at the engagement session. Like, I feel like I get to know them quite a lot.
Yeah.
But oh my gosh, being at your wedding is gonna be a totally different experience for me. I'm gonna like get so distracted just like watching that I'm gonna like forget what I'm doing. Oh my gosh, I can't wait.
Yeah, but
I can't wait to see.
What other ideas? Oh, that one idea, I forget her name. But they did the plant. Like, they
Madeline and Connor. Yes.
They took mason jars of. So the bride took some dirt from her house, and then the groom took dirt from his house, and they put it together in a plant to have at their house. I'm like, oh my gosh. I was like, I have to do that. My mother-in-law's gonna bawl at that. I'm like, I just know her. She's gonna like be bawling, ugly, crying.
Oh my gosh.
Because she loves like that kind of like very like sentimental like stuff like that. So
I loved that kind of. I don't know where this it's a similar thing to the sand. Have you seen the sand?
Yes, yeah.
I don't know if that comes from a certain place in the world or anything, but I liked that it gave the same energy as that. But
and I've never seen that before. Like, I thought that was such a good idea. Because it's like it's literally putting like your childhood homes like together, and I'm like, oh my gosh. So
to build your new life together,
and especially
so
like
cute.
if the bride and groom grew up like very differently. It's very like symbolic, like showing that it's like coming together and like meshing together. So
mixing the things that both parents have taught you.
Yes, exactly. I love that.
And then a plant you can have in your yard that your kids can go play next to.
I know.
And your
dog
hopefully
I keep it alive.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. But that was such a cute idea. I loved that idea too.
I know. I just like thinking about it. It was so sweet.
Yeah.
And especially if like the audience, well the guests, audience, especially if the guests don't see it coming.
Yes.
And like they're like, oh my gosh.
Another thing I loved that they had was the newspaper.
Yes, that was another idea too.
They put together, instead of like a program, like sometimes on each seat or in a basket or something when you arrive as a guest to go grab your seat or whatever at the ceremony, there's usually like a one sheet or something program that tells you who's in the bridal party and tells you what time dinner will begin and things like that.
Yeah.
And these guys, they put it in an interactive newspaper instead.
Yes.
And so they had a crossword puzzle. They had like a quiz and things about their relationship. They had a map about where all of their guests came from.
I think they had like an itinerary too. Like, what's gonna be happening tonight or something like that. But
things to look out for. They had the audio guest book. So it was also like telling their guests, oh, don't forget to do this. And we have this activity available. And
I love
keep an eye out for, you know. Oh, I love that.
It just gives the guests like something to do while they're waiting. Yeah. And like, it's also so cute, like the pictures too, like of them holding the newspaper. But I'm like, I thought, I'm glad you reminded me about that, because I'm like, I think I showed my mom, because I'm like, she can totally execute that, like, because she's a graphic designer. I'm like, that's totally up her alley. Like, so I'm gonna have her do that. That's another one of her jobs.
How has it been with kind of recruiting people? Because you said that you're friends with a coordinator too, and so you've been
it is my friend's older sister. So like I do know her. We're actually like texting right now, because she's like, I've seen her work. Like, she works for a restaurant in Ridgefield, I think. I forget where. But that's what she does, like, for a living. And I'm like, and I trust her. Like, she's very on top of things. Like, she's not, like, I wouldn't say she's, like, bossy, but she's, like, she gets things done. Yeah. Like, she's
good energy.
She makes it, like, known. Like, like, she's not, like, she wouldn't be, like, that mean, like, you know. But she gets things done. Yeah. Like, I would totally trust her. And, like, you know, because just also, like I said, I don't want my mom to do anything. So I feel like on the wedding day, I feel like she'd be like, Melissa, no, sit down, sit down. You're not going to do that. No, no. Like, that's literally her. Like, she'd be like, no, I don't care. Sit down. But, like, she's, like, obviously not mean. Like, you wouldn't take it as mean. But I love that.
I think you're really smart for thinking about that, thinking that, I want to make sure, and being aware that I want to make sure that my guests, my mom, the people that I'm inviting and that want to be present, that you want to have present, can be present.
And you don't want them stressing too, because if they're stressing, you're stressing.
Right, like, exactly.
So.
And then if there is some kind of issue or anything, God forbid, that, like, there is a designated person that can take care of things that won't miss out.
That's why I would say, like, anything you need, any questions you have, go to Hannah. Like, just go to her. I don't care. Go to her.
And that's great. I think that's great.
Yeah. So it was nice. Like, and I mean, sometimes, like, I feel like I did things a little differently. I didn't do a wedding planner. She's going to be the day of coordinator. Which, as for me, I think, like, if you know yourself, that's the thing. You have to think about yourself. If you need a wedding planner, like, because you know you're not going to do things on your own, and that's fine. But, like, for me, I don't know, like, is that like type A or something? Like, you have to, like, you're like, I have to do this myself. Like, you can, like, delegate things to other people, but you're like, can you do it this way? Like, I feel like that's me. So I'm like, as much as stressful as it can be, I did want to, like, do most of the things myself, but then have that day of coordinator. Yeah. For that day, so then that day I can just relax and, like, you know, let her do everything.
Enjoy the things that you planned for and that you worked on.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, and I think that's really smart of you too, to kind of find a different way to get a day of coordinator too, instead of working with like somebody experienced really in the wedding industry, because I mean, at least it seems like from what you've talked about and, like, the person that you are, like, you are more casual and, like, you know, not as, I mean, picky about the details with, like, the things that, you know, you want to build and create, but less picky about like everything being super, super, super perfect. Yeah. And
because it's not going to be, like, nothing's going to be perfect. Like, I mean, obviously in your eyes, like, it'll be like, oh, perfect day, but
Yeah, right.
something I feel like will bound to be like not go wrong, but just like
Not as expected.
yeah,
I'd say.
exactly.
Yeah.
You know, like stuff like that. So
Yeah.
that's what you have to keep in mind.
Yeah.
So
If you were like a luxury market bride, like going for like perfect, then I see where like getting a very experienced coordinator, somebody in weddings who's been in weddings forever, like makes a lot of sense. But the casual farm vibe, DIYing, this was like a really creative way to get somebody that not only fits your budget, but that like and want to have around, and that that you're comfortable with too.
Yeah. And so, I did have,
it's cool.
I did have time. Like we're going to have a year-long engagement. So like I did have time to, do all those DIYs. Like I am on like a time crunch, but like not that much of a crunch, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But and I mean, just being real and honest, like if you're on a budget too, like some people don't have like a budget for a wedding planner because things are expensive. So like that's why I opted for the day of coordinator, so like you tell them everything and there you go, you do whatever you need with that. So but yeah,
you're very wise.
I try. I try.
Well, I'm curious to know what the wedding vendor experience was like with like booking other vendors, because I've seen other vendors in action on the day, but like I don't know what their process is. Like the DJ, I've heard some DJs where they ask, "Oh, can you tell me like your 5 must-haves, 5 do not plays?" Like how does that?
So
I've always wondered about the DJs. I don't know.
I haven't really talked to the DJ yet about all that stuff. And here's the thing with my wedding, I feel like, I mean, I'm not trying to talk like very like highly like that, but I feel like I've gotten very blessed with like all the vendors that I've gotten. And I think a big thing is connections. It's like if you know someone who can do this, like book them, like the DJ that we have, he did both of my sister's weddings. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to keep him. Like we're going to use him too. So he kind of like knows the vibe. Like he was very easy. He was very on top of things. Oh my gosh. We like texted him a minute later. He would text back and it was so funny. And he's like, he's an older guy, but I'm like, he's on top of things. And it was like, I mean, everyone has different like payment schedules, but we don't have to pay him until the day of.
That's nice.
And he charged for like travel, obviously, and like accommodations. But yeah, we didn't talk much about like what we wanted for the DJ, but he, just knowing from my sister's weddings, he was very good about like kind of just like going with the flow with some things.
Yeah.
Like, so I trust him. He's like, and that's what you want to with I think especially with the DJ and the photographer, they have to work really well together. Like you need someone like, who can bounce off of each other. Like, so for one of my sister's weddings, we're a little off schedule, but like,
okay.
And he just kept going. He would like look at the itinerary. He's like, "Are we doing this?" My mom would be like, "Nope." He's like, "Okay, next thing." Like, and just so, yeah, I don't know. Like,
yeah,
that's why I'm very lucky that we have him. But other people, I mean, like with Meghan, it was a breeze. It was a breeze booking with her. So book with her.
Oh my gosh, thank you
like,
so much.
Was so easy. I was like, ugh. That's the one thing. That's the biggest thing. I was stressing about finding a photographer. And I'm like, what the heck? I'm like, I have a photographer right in front of my face. Let me just ask her. And I was like, are you available? She's like, yes. With the eyes.
But the style is like such a huge thing, though, is like making sure that you like the style of your photographer.
Yeah.
And so like I don't get offended when people I know get engaged and
yeah.
then don't ask me or inquire with me. Like I don't know, just because I know that everybody has totally different opinions and taste and style, and so
yeah.
I try not to like take it personally when somebody doesn't reach out, but when you reached out, I was like, oh, finally. I was like, I've been waiting for this. I was so excited.
But booking with you was so easy, and like even just like, if I'm being honest, I did look at like other photographers just like for the heck of it.
As you should.
And it was like, I should have known something was up, because every photographer was like so difficult, like not throwing shade, I'm not gonna name any names, but it was like just very difficult to book with. And it was like trying to get in contact with them, and then like, you know, them not responding, like, and it was just like me stressing. I'm like, oh my gosh. And then it was like, just again, like with budget, it was like, oh my gosh, they'd be starting at like you know, like 6,000 or 7,000, like starting at it too. And I was like, I understand that as a photographer, like myself, like on the side, but I was like, they were also much farther away too. So I was like, man,
they
it's
have
not
travel fee too,
right. So I'm like, it's not worth it. And it was like trying to get in contact with them was hard. So I'm like, you know what? Like I said, it was like, things happen for a reason. Yeah. I was like, and that's probably why, like, it led me to book with Meghan. And like, it was so stress free. Like, and I'm not even just saying this, like, it was so stress free. Like that day I texted you, I was like, a week I lived it. I was like, ugh. And that's what brides need, is just like, I don't know, like an easy thing. Like, yeah, I don't know, again, it sounds cheesy, but it's like, if it's getting too difficult, if it's too confusing, like if it's putting stress on you to book that person, then maybe that person's not for you.
Oh, you're like, giving me goosebumps. I agree with you 100%. So, and even from my perspective too, like if a couple reaching out to me is giving me anxiety, yes, yeah, if like I and feel nervous or something, then I agree that like maybe I'm not the best one for them either. Like, you know yourself. If it is that hard to book with them, imagine like on the actual day. True. You know? Yep. You're going to be just as stressed. Like, not to say anything bad about that person, but like sometimes people just don't get along, or click, just or like click, they you know, like I guess like they don't match their vibe. Like, yeah. So, but yeah, that's, I mean, but everything else, like I've had very good luck with like booking vendors and stuff, like that pizza truck. Oh, I have a pizza truck. Oh. And they were very easy. They're like, I love family owned things. Yeah. So they're like a family owned business, and it was very easy booking with them. Like, I think we just had to give a down payment, and then we pay them like, or they were like, you know, we'll figure out the rest of the payments like closer, obviously. So, yeah. I don't know. Amazing. Trucks are the way to go. Yeah, I think that's so cool and fits the vibe of the venue that you have really well too. And also one less thing to kind of deal with and maintain. Mm-hmm. Like, people can go up and eat when they want to. Yes. I didn't really want, like, you know, people serving everyone as they were sitting, like, and yeah, like it fits the vibe, you know. Yeah. So I'm like, and I like pizza. Me and James love pizza, so we're having pizza. You found too. You said that they're doing also cannolis and right. They're doing more than So at the end of the night, they offer like cappuccinos and cannoli for dessert. I'm like, I love that. There you go. That's the dessert. I love that. So we're probably gonna get a small cake for us too, and then just cookies and cannolis. This is so exciting, Talia. So, you really seem like you're getting the best bang for your buck with everybody. Yes. I'm trying. This season has really pushed me to try to, like, not stress. Mm-hmm. To just go with things. If things don't work out, they don't work out. Like, it's not the end of the world. It's like I said, at the end of the day, it's who you're marrying. It's like the people that are surrounding you on that special day. Like, that's all that really matters. So that is such a great ending note. That's my 2 cents. I love your 2 cents. Thank you so much for taking the time to come on. We've been actually
You're
editing side by side together this whole time. But yeah, thank you so much. I would love to do this again when you're further into the process too, and see like what new insight you have,
like
anything that's
closer
changed.
to
Yeah, and then maybe again after the fact too, and things that you wish that you had thought about after, or I don't know, just how your experience has changed. So
that'll be fun.
Keep posted on that. Next week, hopefully, or we have episodes that come out once every 2 weeks. So next episode, 2 weeks from now, every other Monday. Hopefully Jen and I will be together. She was busy running around doing errands today, and so Talia was here, and I was like, Talia, do you mind if I just pull the mics out? Let's go. And so here, that's how this happened. But I think this was like the tone of the rest of the episode. I think this was meant to be. I think we were meant to have this conversation with you guys, and it really worked out that Jen unfortunately wasn't available, because this was a really interesting idea for an episode that I wouldn't have had if the opportunity didn't present itself. So thank you for joining us, Talia. And thank you guys for listening. Talia, please share your Instagram for everybody to follow you.
Which one?
Whatever you'd like.
My Instagram is talia.rizzo, and my photography account is Talia Rizzo Photography.
All right, so keep posted on the next one for Talia to join us, and we will see you week after next.
Cheers.